AITAH for refusing to do something special on my wedding day for my sister, because she refused to do something for me at hers. Hey everyone! Thanks again to everyone who offered advice and support. Your responses helped me feel more grounded and confident, especially when navigating this emotional mess. I wanted to give you all an update and also clarify a few things since there was a bit of confusion in the original post. So for background, during my sister's wedding last year, I had one simple, heartfelt request. I wanted a picture with her bouquet, not to show off or make a statement, but just for myself. I've always found that tradition charming. It felt symbolic, like a tiny, quiet wish for my own future. And for the record, I was her photographer. Yes, I took all the photos. So when I mentioned wanting one with the bouquet, it wasn't about stealing a moment or putting pressure on her photographer. It would have been a quick selfie. My ex and I had broken up recently, and I was going full no contact. He wouldn't have seen it. It was for me. She flat out said no. She made a comment about not wanting to deal with drama and told me not to make her day about me. I was hurt, but I let it go. Or at least I thought I did. Fast forward to this year, my wedding. Like hers, it was small and very low cost. On my side, only close family attended: my mom, stepdad, uncle, sister, and her husband. My now husband only had his mother. We also invited 5 mutual friends. No big venue, no flashy dress, no formal speeches. Just a short ceremony followed by a modest dinner. We did what we could afford, and we did it with love. Now here, where it gets complicated. A few weeks before the wedding, I heard from a cousin and later confirmed through social media clues that my sister was pregnant. But she hadn't told me, and I knew she was going to try and announce it at my wedding. It's just the kind of stunt she'd pull. She loves attention, and more than that, she's always been competitive with me in this subtle, infuriating way. Even when we were kids, she'd wait for my birthday party to share some big news, or try to wear something flashier than me. So I got ahead of it. I sat down with both her and my mom a few days before the wedding and said very plainly, if either of you announces her pregnancy or makes any reference to it at my wedding, you will no longer be part of my life. No discussion, no warning, no grace period. You will be done. They both brushed it off. My mom gave me the "you're being dramatic" look she's perfected over the years, and my sister sort of laughed and said, "Why would I do that?" I didn't believe her. And I think, deep down, neither of them believed I would actually follow through with my boundary. The wedding ceremony itself went off beautifully. Simple, heartfelt, peaceful. Honestly, for that brief window of time, I let myself believe maybe I'd been wrong. Maybe they took me seriously. We moved to the reception area, just a small hall we rented from a community center. People were serving themselves, chatting, and taking pictures. We sat down to eat, and then it happened. My sister stood up, glass in hand, and said, "I have something to share with everyone." I froze, looked her dead in the eye, and said firmly, "No, you don't." The room fell silent. It was an awkward, uncomfortable silence, because most people there had no idea what was happening. My friends looked confused. My husband's mom had this tight, polite smile on her face, like she was trying to pretend everything was fine. Even my husband looked stunned. My sister sat back down, red-faced and clearly upset, but she didn't say anything else. I thought maybe, that was the end of it. I should have known better. In our culture, it's common to give wedding gifts after the cake. It's a lovely tradition, kind of a final moment of celebration before the night winds down. When the cake was brought out, my mother stood up and walked over to my sister. In front of everyone, she handed her a beautifully wrapped box and said, loud and clear, "The new mom also deserves some recognition." It was like the air was sucked out of the room. My sister burst into happy tears. She opened the box, revealing baby clothes and a sonogram photo. Then she had the audacity to try to hug me. I stepped back. I looked at her, then at my mother, and said calmly but firmly, "This celebration is over for both of you. You need to leave." My stepdad, who up until then had said nothing, stood up and took my mom gently by the arm. My brother-in-law, who honestly looked mortified, apologized quietly and guided my sister out. I haven't heard from either my sister or my mother since that day, aside from a flood of texts and missed calls I've chosen not to answer. I'm done. I meant what I said. I gave them a clear, reasonable boundary, and they chose to ignore it for a moment of attention and validation. That moment cost them their place in my life. My stepdad and uncle have reached out, offering support. My husband and friends have been wonderful, but emotionally, it's still a roller coaster. Grieving the relationship you wish you had with your family is a strange, heavy kind of grief. So, AITAH? I don't think so. But I've been conditioned by years of family guilt and gaslighting, and I still catch myself wondering if I was too harsh. Still, I know one thing for sure. I protected my peace, and that's something no one is allowed to take from me anymore.